Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to another viewer-submitted match of StarCraft 2. I know these videos are much requested, but here's the thing. I end up casting a ton of these games and the vast majority of them are maybe mediocre at best. Now this game has been selected by Modlesses. I am ready for something a little bit crazy, but before I ramble onwards, let's get started by introducing the players. Spawning here in the top left-hand corner of Dreamcatcher LE and playing with the red Terran SUVs. His name reads as if it should be Spanish, but it's not. We have none other than Jonito. And his opponent already sending out an SCV halfway to the gold and now to the other side of the map. What do you have in mind right here, blue Terran player? Alright, he is indeed got a proxy of barracks. He's playing, like I mentioned, with the blue Terran SCVs. His nickname misses one vowel sound, which, you know, makes it pretty much impossible to pronounce properly. I guess he may have just hit the character limit, actually. We have none other than Link's Taste Bad. Now, both of these players are Platinum League Terran players, and... Link's Taste Bad already puts up an engineering bay right here at the top of the ramp. Not entirely sure what purpose that engineering bay is fulfilling. I guess he could go for a planetary fortress, but he's not like rushing a planetary fortress right here, so this is a little bit awkward already. Link's Taste Bad is trying to cheese his opponent. He's now sending out another SCV, and he is indeed gonna end up adding on additional barracks. There we go. 3 barracks here in total. Now, if you got an awesome game of StarCraft 2 that you recently played yourself as well, and you think it is worth for me to go ahead and cast, you can go ahead and submit it to replays at LowkoTV, and maybe, just maybe, I will end up casting your game here in the future too. Now, like I mentioned though, please only send over your most spectacular matches, because I probably cast like 5 to 10 games for every viewer submitted match that I actually end up uploading to the channel. Just because, you know, I see a lot of people like titling the replay, right? Most epic game of StarCraft you will ever see. And it's like 2 Bronze League players sitting back for like 30 minutes and then one nuke goes off and it kills everything. And I'm here sitting, right? I'm trying to cast the game and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And, you know, 30 minutes of just simply sitting back is not necessarily that epic in my book. This game, though, I like the way it starts. Now, Jonito is playing extremely defensive, right? Not even sending out an SCV, not even scouting with the Reaper. He's, as a matter of fact, just patrolling this Reaper back and forth to figure out what is going on. I guess he may try to catch the opposing Reaper. Already, though, the Marines are now going to show themselves, but they will be caught by a Cyclone. So, the aggression here will be shut down immediately, and Link's Taste Bad is setting up shop right outside of his opponent's natural, with a bunker as well as a factory. Sort of like creating a contain, I guess? Man, this man has read books on like medieval warfare, okay? To simply set up shop around the opposing city, make sure they cannot get any supplies, and eventually they will, I guess, starve out, right? Jonito is right now also aware of the fact that his opponent decided to set up this shop right outside of his natural. He could just expand behind this, to be honest. It wouldn't really hurt very much. Or, yeah, I love this. Look at that. Or he could go ahead and send a Liberator straight across the map. Now, I looked at this blue base for just a split second, right? What is wrong with this? Guys, I've been saying this for years now. If you are a Terran player, make orbital commands as soon as you can. Orbital commands are your friend. They are absolutely phenomenal. One mule literally mines more than the orbital command upgrade costs. You want to get it as soon as possible. Now, Link's Taste Bad did get himself that command center on the low ground, but you'd imagine that, like, a Platinum Terran player should know the value of an orbital, right? It's so very critical. Well, you don't want to show your opponent that Liberator. Okay. It will just barely not be spotted. Liberator moving across, and keep in mind there is absolutely nothing available right here for the Terran player in blue to defend against this. Now, luckily, Jonito, he's a kind Terran player. He's not a bad guy. He just wants to play defensive, 20-minute no rush. He's playing super cautious. He is not going to shoot missiles at that barracks. Speaking of shooting missiles, though, well, apparently the time of peace is gone. Jolnito is breaking out of the siege by sending another siege weapon to the other side of the map. That does mean that apparently the Liberator is gonna once more unsiege. The command center is gonna lift up. Jolnito is gonna try and chase with units that are probably the worst at chasing, although he does get a kill there for his troubles. May very well just be a gift right there by the generous god, Link's Taste Bed, who now actually produced the siege tank, and who's gonna use the barracks high ground vision to start shooting away right there at those supply depots. Liberator just simply gonna siege up wherever he can, right? Yeah, there you go, get another kill. That's 6 kills already. Very, very solid. Although he may just actually need his units back home, though. I don't think he should send that Liberator back, but I understand the reasoning, right? It's very difficult to justify leaving it on the other side of the map when you are in so much trouble, but I still think it would have been a much, much better option. Well, especially if you just fly it. Oh, don't you dare! Jolnito! Oh my god! Oh no! Jolnito! No, don't scan! The unit died, okay? There's Marines, you knew about that! Well, and even though Link stays bad, wasn't in a particularly good spot earlier, he's now getting an awful lot of value. He could try and even, like, move the siege tank up a little bit to start shelling away at that bunker. Bunkers do not outrange siege tanks, so this should be something he can actually break. And while this is going on, right, even though he still does not have orbitals, he's actually mining a lot more than his opponent. Still no second base here for Jolnito. He's finally going to start up another command center as well as a second starport. I guess he wants... Oh my god, so risky. You just need to head them at the edge. Luckily for you, the Lynx, or rather the Marines, are sleeping on the job. They will be able to gun down that Liberator eventually, but it also did cost that siege tank. At the same time, the bunker there will end up burning down, and that does mean that Jolnito is actually taking an awful lot of damage. What seemed to be a siege tactic, right, where he was trying to starve his opponent out, is in fact an aggressive push to tear down the walls and to break into the city. The supply count definitely in favor right here of the Terran player in blue. He's gonna send all of the boys to repair up the cyclones, and then apparently they cower in fear. Oh, what's that target? What's going on? What's that target firing? I guess he's desperately trying to get rid of those units, and eventually he may be able to break it. Still though, ooh, the repair. No, don't hit the bunker. Stop hitting the bunker. Oh my god, the bunker. The Viking, the hero Viking, it's getting the embrace of love. Look at that, those SCVs showing what they are capable of. Eventually, the hero Viking will be able to kill every single last of those Marines. But the question is, at what cost? Only 4 workers remain right now for Jolnito. He's been trying his best. A cyclone will come out. There's no way in. Oh my god, he's not gonna... No, hero Viking, no! Oh my god, he's just a martyr after all. He will be shooed out of this engagement. But at the same time, Jolnito has managed to stay alive. In the meantime, on the other side of the map, Link stays bad, still refusing to make orbital commands, is just simply happily making more SCVs. There we go. I think this is the correct call, right? Just start making a whole bunch of barracks, make a bunch of Marines, and try to see if you can potentially finish this game. Jolnito got himself a second Cyclone out, the first one now on its lunch break, very important. Your units sometimes do need a little bit of time as well to, you know, just chill, right? You can't really afford just having them around. Just keeping them where they were is definitely the correct call. One Liberator trying to get in there, but there we go. That second starport paying its diligence, right? It's got look at it, right? It's gonna be able to shoo away that Liberator. Liberators fighting Liberators. It's not really what you see very often. The one in the back has a skin though, so actually, does it have a skin? It looks like it has a skin. Yeah, it does, right? Yeah, it does. That obviously means it deals way more damage, right? I had someone come to the stream a couple of weeks ago and I asked, hey Lowko, why do I see so many people using skins? Do you get more damage output on your units when you use skins? No, you don't. That'd be really stupid. Imagine that. That'd be so dumb. Imagine if units would deal more damage if they had a skin. No, that's kind of the point of skins, right? Well, the Liberator, it flew all the way over here as well. But now with that, oh my god. I think that actually Jolnito is going to be able to deal critical amounts of damage. A couple of Marines are being produced here. But all things considered, they are not dealing enough. Now remember, right? The engineering bay that was produced at like the 1 minute mark, it is now indeed allowing Link Stays Bad to make a planetary fortress. The SCVs are standing around. They looked as if they were repairing. The blue Terran Marines are now making their way back home, but the planetary finishes. It deals heavy amounts of splash damage. No, it is just simply gonna burn down. The Vikings apparently done with their task. They don't want to fight this army anymore. They are gonna lift up, jump to the sky, and start shooting away right there at some more of those buildings. And then they pop back onto the ground, very agile, to try and deal some damage there too. At the same time though, even though Link stays bad, rallied a couple Marines across, he now realized that, wait a second, what if I just move across and see if I can kill the last of the mining here from my opponent? I like this decision a lot, showing us that he's not just, you know, an all-army attack moving kind of player. Jonito doesn't know about this command center. That's actually a big deal. If you were to know about the fact that there is a... Oh god. That's not good. Those SCVs are definitely taking damage though. Thank you, Nathanius, for joining me on that cast. Pretty sure that was Nate. But regardless, Jonito is indeed now forced to lift up his command centers, and he's gonna try and get on out of here. Now this is gonna be awkward. This is gonna get real strange real fast. Both players actually relatively even here in supply. Link stays bad, has been mining for much longer, but he's terrible at spending his money. I've got a feeling that Link stays bad is probably the kind of player who just simply proxies a lot of his games. I hope it's not the case, but I mean, he's not really good at spending his money. Just put down a bunch of barracks. You don't need more supply depots, man. Just put down a bunch of additional barracks near your base and start producing something that can be considered an army. Remember those mules? Jonito is going to be able to drop quite a few of those. He doesn't have a lot of workers remaining anymore, but he does have a lot of energy on these orbitals, and the orbitals obviously are really... What's that one doing there? How did that even get there? Alright, anyway, the mules are going to be able to provide him with all of the income that he needs here for the time being. Cyclone is going to sacrifice his army or his life right there for the Terran Dominion. The Cyclone's going to siege up on one unexpecting Marine. But eventually, right, they should be stabilized right here for Jonito. The SCVs apparently cowering in fear. They don't want to go there. One hero Viking read about the deeds of the previous hero Viking, and he wants to become just like his brother. And eventually, look at them. They end up killing the opposing units in unison. Man, he's trying to chase with Liberators. Liberators are terrible at chasing, guys. They're probably some of the worst chasers in StarCraft, together with, like, siege tanks when they're, like, sieging up. Actually, I think they may very well be the worst chasing units in StarCraft. They're really, really bad at it. They're also terrible when it comes to dealing anti-air. Planetary Fortress now, though, was built here for Link Stays Bad. He also made, like, a ring of missile turrets, like it's StarCraft 1. One SCV here finally did manage to get into the opposing main to figure out here what is going on. Not a whole lot, to be completely honest. And Link Stays Bad, while he is perfectly proxying a lot of these structures, right? He's just simply sending in unit after unit. Man, both of these players are sacrificing so much. Alright. How much has been lost so far? Link Stays Bad, actually, lost a substantial amount of resources in comparison to his opponent. Cost efficiency, though, really not in favor of either player here. There we go, the missiles once again will lock onto one of those Vikings. I think that Viking will likely die. There we go. His brother didn't even care. Right? Didn't even look down into the abyss when his army fell. At the same time, though, Link Stays Bad once more. Even though I thought that Jonito was stabilizing, managed to get just a handful of Marines inside of that mineral line, and this can definitely hurt. There's very little here available. Once again, the Vikings walking down. Man, we're gonna go next level soon. If he's gonna make medevacs to, like, drop Vikings that are landed, that's when we know we hit next level. For now, though, the Cyclones are gonna be enough. One here. Oh my... So many landed Vikings, guys! What's going on? They actually deal surprising amounts of units or damage to other mechanical units. A couple of Marines trying to come up here with the run-by as well. They're gonna force the orbital command to burn. Eventually, though, it is gonna be repaired right here by Jonito's SCVs. Man, this game is an absolute mess. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know who's ahead right now. You can glance at the supply count and say that it's the player in blue, but still, man, he's been throwing away units. I mean, those Terran Marines have families, dude. You can't just, like, sacrifice them. Are these ones really tasked with killing one SCV? Oh my god. Alright, screw you, SCV. You in particular. You get the treatment as if you are the worst of all of them. There you go. You got a hit squad of units that just simply were tasked with the duty of destroying you. Well, he's gonna start up another command center in his old main base. Nothing feels as amazing as home. Whew. Alright, Jonito finally figured out he had some energy. And this is where the income is gonna be funny, okay? Watch as those mules start returning minerals. Look at the player in red. Sure, he may not have a stupid amount of workers, but he's mining a heck of a lot more than his opponent. Look at it. Look at that. This is why you want to get mules, guys. You don't even have to macro. Well, you should get some supply depots. That'd be nice, Jonito. But, you know, you can get yourself a stupid amount of income just off of that alone. Man, those barracks are positioned everywhere. I'm actually quite surprised that Link Stays Bad is keeping up with all of his unit-producing structures, right? He's doing an excellent job macroing right now. Earlier, he really started stacking up a lot of resources, but he's added on barracks, not where I personally would have put them, right? He put them in the middle of the map, and then a couple over there, and a couple over... But he's making stuff, right? He's spending his money, which is great. Now, you know one great move that Link Stays Bad could do? Is send the SCVs over here, or the Marines over there, and just gun down the SCVs on the low ground. That's actually... That may very well be a game-winning move. There's a lot of value that those Marines could get. Now, obviously, he needs to think on his feet in order to try and figure that out. For us, it's easy to judge that. Jonito is gonna end up losing the one barracks. All of the SCVs here are pooled. My god. He really wants to keep that barracks alive, man. It's producing friends. Right? Whew. Well, a couple of those Marines once again being sacrificed. I feel like we see a complete difference in playstyle though, right? Jonito clearly caring for all of his units. Link Stays Bad is just sacrificing Marines like they're supposed to die on the job. Right? He's just sending them in. They're going to war. They knew what trouble they were getting themselves into. So this is the risk they took, and they're gonna pay the price. Command Center finished up though, inside of the main base. There's still a lot of minerals here. Jonito is probably not expecting this base to be mining here anymore. Still though, look at that, right? The player in blue has secured himself a really large army. While I'm really not particularly impressed of his early game, he's doing a great job just managing this really scrappy scenario, which once again reinforces my thought that he's likely cheesing a lot of games. He seems to be very comfortable in these really weird situations, right? He knows exactly what to do and how to keep up and ahead of his opponent. Great play so far by him. Jonito, though, desperately scrambling by, trying to stay alive. He built himself a third command center. Rather than actually any units, he's like, okay, I just want to get more and more economy. And while he's done an excellent job trying to slow down his opponent, the power of the sacrificial Marine turns out to be just a little bit too much. Now, I hope that you enjoyed watching this crazy game of Platinum League Terran versus Terran. Like I mentioned, if you got an awesome game yourself as well, you can go ahead and submit it. Replays at LowkoTV. Just simply attach the replay to the email, and maybe I'll cast your game here in the future. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile alright. A special shout out to the Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome, but I'll see you once again in the next one.